So once you've got your template all down, you trace your template onto your vinyl fabric. I strongly recommend vinyl fabric because it's durable and it's nice. It gives a nice stiffness to the fabric, and it's really not that expensive. It's like maybe $2 or $3 a yard at a fabric store, and they come in a wide variety of colors. You could also try this with fabric, regular fabric. You might want to stiffen your fabric up a little bit by using the fabric stiffener to give it some stiffness to it. You see how these are nice and stiff, they don't bend or anything like that. It makes it easy to carry. So I've already transferred my template onto my fabric, and it all aligns perfectly. To punch your holes on your fabric, it's easy if you just fold your fabric at the desired length here. Mine is as per my template, so my body of my clutch is 4 inches, and you put some tape here along the edge, and it makes it easier for you to get your crocodile and just punch the holes through it. So once your fabric is cut, and you have done all your markings, the only thing I didn't mark on here is the closure, but I can do that a little bit later when I'm ready to put my closure on. And do you guys have any questions? I know there's a lag between what I say and what you guys are looking at, so I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see if anybody has any questions before I go on. Yeah, this is a really easy, really fun project. It's no hassle, no fuss, no sew. So now that you've cut your fabric, you can put your template aside. And what makes these clutches fabulous, aside from the fact that they are no sew, is what I use to decorate the fabric. And what I used are paper napkins, decorative paper napkins. As you can see, this is the paper napkin that I use to decorate this one. And that's all it is, really. It's just the decorative paper towel. And this is the one I used for this one. It's just your fantastic, beautiful, everyday paper napkins that you buy at party stores or anywhere where they would sell decorative paper napkins. So this is the paper napkin for this one. And And this is the paper napkin for this one. So you guys can see that this project is really super easy. So this is what I use to create mine. And for this one, I'm going to use this paper napkin. This is the one I'm going to be using. And you will have to remove all the layers of your paper napkin. Usually they come in 2 or 3 layers. So I'm just going to peel back. This is one layer that I'm peeling off. And this is the second layer that I'm going to peel off. Be very careful when you're peeling your layers. You don't want to tear your paper napkin. So this is just the basic. This is the printed sheet right here. And it all depends on the type of paper napkin that you have. It depends on the design that you have. To the directionality of your clutch. Like for example, this one doesn't have really any directionality on the paper towel. This doesn't have directionality because the flowers can be facing any direction. So for this type of paper towel, it doesn't matter the directionality of it. But for something like this does matter for the directionality. And there's several different ways that you can go about this. I prefer tearing rather than cutting my paper napkin. For example, on this one you can see here that for the front part, the peacock is facing upward the right way. So for the back part, I didn't want to add another peacock, so I just added some of the background elements on my napkin and filled in the holes with paint. For this one, I split the napkin in half so that the butterflies are facing upwards here, and they're also facing the same direction in the back. If I hadn't cut my paper napkin in half, the butterflies in the back would have been upside down. I don't know if that makes any sense. So for this one, although the design of the napkin is very simple, the butterflies are facing certain ways, and I need to figure this out before I glue my paper towel to my fabric. So I lay my fabric down on my paper napkin and I fold it. Let me see. If I don't cut my paper napkin, it's gonna look like this, where you can see that the top flap, the butterflies are facing the right way, but on this bottom portion the butterflies are upside down, and they are also upside down in the back. So the simple way to take care of this is for me to just tear my napkin down the middle. Very carefully I'm going to tear it because it's very delicate and this material can rip very easily. The reason I like ripping it rather than cutting it with scissors is because the edges blend into each other a lot easier, a lot smoother when you tear it. When you cut it, you're giving it a hard edge, so it's a little harder to disguise the seams of the fabric. So let me see here. I want this portion to be like this. And the flap also needs to be like this. So I have to cut it in 3 different directions, three times. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be like this, and the flap part is gonna be covered with this, which means the back part is gonna be like this. So I had to cut my paper napkin into 3 strips to make the directionality be the way I want it to be. And is there any questions at this point? Okay, and what is gonna bind all of this together is my favorite basics glue, which is this one. No, I'm not using an old napkin. I'm using a new napkin. And I peeled off all the layers from the napkin, and I'm left with just the printed layer. So I'm going to adhere my napkins to my vinyl fabric with Basics Gloss Medium Gel. Right, any decorative napkin will do. It just depends on what you like and the look that you're going for. It's gonna look a little bit different when you're done with it because you're gonna paint it and you're gonna add some stuff to it. So it's gonna look a little bit different, but it can be any decorative napkin that you want, or it can be any self-printed napkin. If you print an image out on a regular white napkin, you can do that also. This can also be tissue paper. I haven't made one with tissue paper, but I'm assuming that the tissue paper will have the same reaction as the paper towels. I just happen to have really cute paper towels that I just recently rediscovered when I'm unpacking and getting my craft area ready. So I'm running really low on this stuff, so I'm gonna I know there's a whole bunch of yumminess down here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it with some scissors. And I just didn't do that before because I wanted you guys to see the type of glue that I use. And this can basically be any type of multi-medium gel. I just like using basics, and I've had these clutches done for a while already, for a couple of days, and they do not feel sticky. They're not sticky. They feel you can't really tell that I used a napkin to decorate the fabric. The fabric actually looks that it was painted like this. So I am using this from Liquitex, and it's a basics gloss gel medium, and I use this in just about every project that I have. So you're gonna need some kind of gel medium. You're gonna need a brush, and at this point you're ready to get started. Just keep in mind the directionality, and there's a crease here already from where my fabric was folded in half. I kind of creased it to make a little crease here, so I know that this is my finish line here for this portion of it. And all you need to do now is just start gluing it down with your multi-medium. I love this stuff. I've already finished a container of this stuff within the past few days. So I'm gonna get a nice amount of multi-medium gel, and don't worry if you go over the holes that you've already made. It's only tissue paper, so you can always punch them out with something sharp. So I'm just gonna start adding my multi-medium like so. Helps if you have a little bit of water to just kind of water down the multi-medium so that it extends a little longer here. You're going to get your paper towel, and you're going to adhere it down to your fabric. Very gently smooth it out with your fingers. Smooth it out very gently, because this is going to rip very easily if you pull on it or tug on it a little bit too hard. Kind of smooth out any air bubbles, and I don't mind that it has wrinkles, because to me that's just added texture. So just kind of smooth out any air bubbles. And I'm gonna go over the top part with some more of my gel medium, very gently. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a tear, a rip here and there, but that's fine because I can always cover that with paint. This is kind of like Mod Podge. This is a little bit thicker, a little creamier, but the difference between this and Mod Podge is that Mod Podge will kind of leave your surface a little tacky, a little sticky. I've made one before using Mod Podge, and it does leave the surface of your clutch feeling a little bit sticky after it's dry. Even though it's been a while, it still feels a little tacky. So I would highly recommend a multi-medium gel for this project. The next sheet of fabric, paper towel that I'm going to add is going to be like this. I think I'm gonna have to tear off the axis here, which is 2 rows of butterflies. And you can collage your image onto your clutch any way you want. It doesn't have to be the whole paper towel. It can be part of an image, or it's basically what your design is, what's envisioned in your head. Once you get this basic step down, you're good to go, and you're going to be making clutches left and right. So I'm going to add the second strip the same way with my multi-medium. I just really like this Liquitex Basics brand. It's very inexpensive. The tube that I had is about $7.99 at a craft store, and it really goes a long way, and it gives your stuff a nice finish. It's very versatile. You can use it as a glue. You can use it to give your projects texture, just different kinds of things that you can do with it. Now adding the second layer, smoothing it out with my fingers, getting rid of any air bubbles. So this multi-medium is a little bit more expensive than Mod Podge, I think, because you might get a little bit more quantity of Mod Podge, but this is very versatile. $7.99 for a tube. I don't think that's too expensive compared to other multi-medium gels that are out there. I have a bottle of another type of multi-medium gel, and that bottle cost me almost $16-17, which I haven't really used very often. I use this one more often than anything. Now I have a little rip here in my fabric, but that's okay. Now I'm ready to add the flat portion of my clutch here. I'm gonna need to cut a little piece of this one. Okay. So not only is the multi-medium gel gluing your paper towel to your fabric, but it's also sealing it in, you know, giving it a nice protective coat on the top. So if your clutch gets wet, or you know, if people want to touch it and see it, it's okay, because the multi-medium gel is gonna give it a little extra strength for that. And I will move this up a little closer right now to show you guys what it looks like so far. Now I have a little edge here that didn't get covered, so I'm going to use whatever scraps I have left of the paper towel to cover that this little strip here at the bottom. Now your clutches can be any size that you want. It's totally your preference, your call. Can be any color, and that's the fun part about it. And nobody out there is gonna have the same thing that you do. That's my favorite part of this project, that no, you're not gonna walk into some party and somebody's gonna have the exact same clutch that you do. It's not gonna happen. And that did the job. Just a little strip and my whole surface is covered. Okay. I'm just going to add a little bit of tape to the portion I cut from my glue here, just so that it doesn't dry up before I'm done. Now you can get your heating tool and heat set everything, dry it up. Yeah, I'm recording this, so no problem. It's being recorded. Is there any questions? Do you have any questions? Yeah, I'm recording this video. This is like my third attempt at this project to be recorded and uploaded on YouTube, but it's taken a ridiculous amount of time to upload it because of the length of the video. It's taken me something like 7,900 something minutes to upload this video, and that turns out to be a couple of days, I think. So I decided to do this live so that it uploads a lot faster to YouTube. It's a decorative paper napkin over the vinyl. It can also be tissue paper. It just depends on what kind of look you're going for. But all of the clutches that I've made have all been decorated with decorative paper napkins. It still feels a little bit wet, but that's okay. I'm just going to go along the edges and cut off the extra napkins that are hanging from here. I bet you guys didn't know that it was napkins, huh? Who would have known? You can also draw your own design onto the vinyl. I could rip it off, but I want the clean edges at this point. So this is all that's left over from the one napkin that I used. And these little scraps can be used on another project. Okay, so this is what you're left with. Let me show you guys up close. If you guys can see some of that texture. Now, when I fold my clutch back up, that's how it's gonna look. And all the butterflies are facing the right direction. So the next thing that we're going to do now that this is dry, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the inside of it. And the inside is only covered with acrylic paint. That's what mine is. It's all acrylic paints. And they all have the same technique done to them with acrylic paint. So you guys can see the inside of my clutches, they are all with acrylic paints. And for this one, I want it to be a little dark and edgy because it's beautiful with all the nice butterflies, but it's going to be a little dark and edgy when I'm done with it. And I'm using Folk Art paint, Midnight Blue 964. And that's what we're gonna start doing now is painting the inside portion of our clutch with acrylic paint. And you depends on the kind of fabric that you're using, but because this is vinyl and it's a clutch, it's not going to get thrown in the washer, so I don't have to worry about any paint or anything like that coming off. Plus the vinyl fabric on the reverse side has texture to it. I don't know if it can be seen, like the texture of the vinyl fabric, and it absorbs the paint really fast. So acrylic paint by itself is fine. And I'm gonna get my brush again. And I had my brush sitting in a little tub of water because I want to water down this acrylic paint just a little bit, because like I said, the vinyl absorbs it really fast. And I'm just going over it with my wet brush just to condition the fabric and get it ready for the paint. I'm gonna get my paint and start painting away. This fabric is like this paint is a mixture of like navy blue and black. Is the best way that I can describe the paint for you guys. And this by all means doesn't have to be perfect. Unless you want it to be perfect. Strictly your choice. But I'm just randomly painting it. And every now and then I dip my brush into the water just to extend the paint a little bit longer. Yeah, the clutch on the outside is going to be wipeable, yes, with like a very lightly damp cloth, because the multi-medium gel that you adhere to your paper towel with is going to react as a protecting sealant to your clutch. So your clutch can be wiped down with the cloth, yes. No, not too much paint on the inside, no. Because, well, I don't think it really matters. The vinyl just really absorbs it really fast. And I haven't had any problems with the inside of my clutches so far, so I don't think it should be a problem with the inside. So I randomly just painted the inside of my clutch. Randomly, it's not perfect, it's just randomly painted. You're going to want to do the edges too. And only the top and bottom edge matter. The sides of the body really don't matter, because that's going to be covered up. Maybe along the sides of where the flap is at. So far this is what it looks like, and this is what my hands look like. So this is the inside part, and I always like adding gold or copper or some kind of metallic color to my projects, and I love adding glitter to them also. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I have my glitter, and I have my gold paint. So I'm just going to randomly add some gold to the inside of it. And I'm just using just any old tool. This is a clay tool, but I like using the tip of it to randomly add paint to my projects. And I've done this before on several different projects. Just randomly adding the gold. The dimensions are, I cut mine out of a regular 11 by 8.5 piece of paper. So the length of your fabric from top to bottom is 11 inches. And from side to side, it's going to be 8.5 inches. And when you fold it, the body of your clutch is going to be 4 inches, and the lip or the flap of your clutch is going to be 3 inches. You're going to leave a 1/4 inch allowance on the edges here, and then you're going to punch your holes. So it's 1/4 inch allowance here, 1/4 inch allowance on this side. And when it's folded, before you punch your first hole, you're going to give yourself a 1/4 inch allowance at the top and a 1/4 inch allowance at the bottom. So the color that I use to add gold is my Lumiere paint, and this is True Gold number 550. This is my favorite metallic type of paint, acrylic paint. I love the texture and the look you get when you heat set it. Oh my god, it's my favorite. I use it in everything. And next I'm going to add just a little sparkle with my favorite Glamour Dust from Art Deco, and this is Gold Glitz. And again, I'm just going to randomly add the glitter to the inside. And I'm going to do the same technique to the outside too. This step is, of course, totally optional. This is just what I like. That's how I achieve the look on the inside of my clutches. And then you're going to heat set it. And I'll show you guys how gorgeous this looks on the inside. This is what it's looking like. And when it's folded, this is what it's going to look like. Now, as you can see, some paint already got onto this side when I was doing the edges. That's totally okay. Just gonna roughen up, give it a little grunginess to the outside. Going around the edges with my paint brush. Just grunging it up. And again, randomly, I'm going to add the gold. And some glitter. You can also spray your fabric with Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, color sprays. And I'm going to heat set this. And I'll show you guys the awesome texture that the gold paint and the glitter made on my fabric. Wow, look at that. Can you guys see that beautiful texture? So this is what it's looking like so far. I sprayed it right now with some magical Mai Tai Lindy Stamp Gang, and this is a flat Fabio. Just randomly sprayed some on there, and I'm gonna spray some Frollo in the Forest Black, and this is a Starburst color from Lindy Stamp Gang. And of course it's clogged, it's not spraying. So let me see, what other color do I have? Here. Let me try this one out on the side. No. Okay, I think this should work. Just clean the nozzle. It's my fault. I shouldn't have shook it the way I did. I love decorative napkins. I've been hoarding and collecting decorative napkins for a very long time now. It doesn't, if I go somewhere and I see a beautiful napkin, I'm gonna buy it. So a lot of the times I just purchase them and just hoard them away until I come up with a good project for them. And just to seal it up, after you've added all the paint, all the color that you want to your clutch, you're just going to add one more thin layer of multi-medium, and that's just to seal in all the color and all the sprays and everything that you used on your project. but this last layer, since you did use since I did use Lindy's Stamp Gang spray colors, instead of brushing on the multi-medium gel, I'm just gonna kind of dab it on, and that's just so that I don't smear or blend all the colors into one big puddle of gray. Just one really quick layer should do the job. Just kind of pounce it on. And this is the fun thing about it, that you can create your own fabric, the color that you wanted, the way that you wanted. This way you can just totally design your own handbags, clutches, pencil bags. It can be a number of things that you can create with this these techniques. And it's all going to be original, handmade, one-of-a-kind project. And that's, to me, that's the most fun part about this. Just the thought that nobody else out there is going to have something like I do. And heat set it real quick. Oh, I never need any excuse to buy them. My excuse is that I don't have that one. That's what I tell my husband when he's with me and I see something like this and I buy it. He goes, what do you need that for? I said, I don't need it, I want it. I need it because I don't have it in my collection. And they're so versatile because you can use them on anything. You can honestly use these decorative napkins on any kind of surface. You can use them on paper, on canvas, on fabric, on wood. Just endless possibilities of the kind of stuff that you can create with these beautiful decorative napkins. And in ways, I like using them a lot more than I would use, say, cardstock. Because the beauty of decorative napkins is that the printed layer is so thin that it easily bonds to the surface and it makes the surface look like it was printed on, you know. So this is what my fabric is looking like. This is the inside, that's the outside, and at this point I'm ready to start binding the sides. And I'm going to re-punch those holes that I did. Just need something sharp just to punch the holes back in. The binding can be a little bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy. And the binding part also has options. and I will show you guys what I mean in a minute. My options. Oh, that's how I got all of my vinyl. My husband just came home one day with tons and tons of it. He came home with yards of vinyl in different colors, and I was super excited when he did that. Somebody at his job was just throwing it out, and he asked them what they were doing with it, and the guy told him that they're throwing it out because they overbought and they didn't have nothing else to do with it. So my husband took it right away and he walked home with it. I was like, yay! But I've also purchased some at the store, and it's not really expensive. It's like $2 or $3 a yard. I know they sell it at Joann's because I've purchased vinyl fabric from there before. Okay, so now that this is done, here is where you get more options. On mine, on all of mine here, on the sides, this is also vinyl. The same vinyl that I made the body of my clutch out of. This is the same vinyl. The only thing is I painted it to match the color of my clutch. And I added the gold. The same techniques as I just showed you guys here for this. So this right here is vinyl on all of mine. On all of mine, they're all vinyl. These are all vinyl. And what you do is you cut a strip of vinyl, which is roughly twice the size of this, of the body of your clutch. So since this is 4 inches, the strip of vinyl that I would cut is going to be approximately 8 inches long by either 1 inch or 1.5 inches wide. Mine are 1.5 inches wide. So the strips I cut were 8 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. And the alternative is, if you don't want to use your vinyl, you can also use either fabric, and you would just cut the fabric and paint the fabric to match, or you can use ribbon. I found this really cute, really thick ribbon, and this is 2 inches wide. This is just satin ribbon. You can use lace. Options are just whatever you have for whatever your design is. Lace, ribbon, fabric, vinyl, you name it. Totally your option. That's extremely expensive for vinyl. Wow, I've purchased mine at Joann's before. You might want to try looking for it online, Shirley, or I don't know, but I've seen vinyl really cheap at Joann's. So I'm going to cut myself about 8 inches worth of ribbon here. And on one end of my ribbon, I'm gonna just kind of cut it at a V, and that's just so that it makes it easy for me to thread it through. Like so. Yeah, you can use a rope, ribbon, lace, fabric, vinyl, you name it. Here comes the tricky part, ladies. Okay, the straight edge of my ribbon or whatever material you're using, I'm gonna bend it inwards like so. The sides, the edges are going to be folded inwards towards the middle like this. And you only need about maybe a ½ inch or so. Not the whole thing. Don't do it to the whole thing. Just do it to about a ½ inch or a ½ inch. So I'm going to add glue to the sides here. And I'm going to add glue to this side here. And I'm going to fold it inwards towards the middle. And the same thing with this end. So it's going to look like this. Okay, now I'm going to fold it in half just to get the center here. The center of the bottom here, which means between the two bottom holes, which is here. So this is the center of it. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4 holes coming this way. I'm going to get this edge that I just stuck in half. And I'm going to glue it to the edge here with the seam part facing down, like so. And it's going to look like this. So it has 1, 2, 3 holes up going up, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes going down, and when it's folded in half, it's gonna look like this, with your strip coming out this way in the middle. Does that make sense? And at this point you can start lacing your strip of fabric or whatever it is you're using. You're gonna start lacing it always in the front. So this is the front part of your clutch and this is the back part of your clutch. Okay, So I'm going to start lacing it towards the front. Like so. So your first one is going to look like this. It comes out through the back, and the front part's going to look like this. Hi Angie, how's it going? And you're going to start lacing it, working your way up. It's going to start looking like this. You can also use yarn, several strands of yarn. And this is what you're left with when you're done. Yeah, the ribbon made it easier to go through to lace in the holes. The vinyl, if you do use the vinyl, it does give it a little fuller look, but it's a little trickier to get it through the holes. So it's just basically your preference, whatever look you prefer. You can also, along the flap of your purse, you can also continue punching holes on this all around, and that would give it a really cute matching edge here along the flap of your purse. You would just have to cut your strip a little bit longer. I think I can do that with this strip that I have here. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but you can also just add another strip. And once you finish lacing this part of your clutch, make sure that your gatherings here are all nice and pretty, and they're the way that you want them to be. And these can be as loose or as tight as you want. It just basically depends on the look that you're going with. You can also maybe use another color and lace another color through here. That would be another option. So on the inside, you're going to be able to see some of the holes like so. And in order to avoid that, you're going to get your hot glue gun and you're going to press it right as far in as you can along the edges here of your clutch. So I cut my ribbon a little too long, but that's okay. And I'm just going to roughly measure, fold it inwards and roughly measure how much I'm going to need before I cut it. So I'm going to need about this much. I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to cut it. And because this is ribbon and ribbon does fray, as you can see here, I'm just going to burn the edge a little bit just to keep it from fraying. Be very careful because this type of material does burn fast. And all I did was seal the edges, so this way they don't fray anymore. Oops, and I did it to the wrong end. Okay. So there we have it. It's sealed so it doesn't fray. And you're going to pull it tight here as much as you can and add a little dab of hot glue here. Just hold it for a second. Okay, so I'm going to get my hot glue gun and I'm going to press it up against the edges as far and as deep as I possibly can and squeeze in a generous amount of hot glue. What this is going to do is this is going to seal it so that and bring your ribbon in and push it in as far as you can to the edge, like so. And what this is going to do is that it's going to seal the edges and keep it nice and clean in there so that, you know, things don't fall out of your clutch through the holes that you punched. And I'll show you guys what it looks like right now on one of my other ones, because this is black and you won't really be able to see in there. So if you can see here in my clutch, they have a very clean finish inside. Has a very clean finish on the sides. And this is going to keep all your goodies inside your purse. Now you're ready to do the same to the other side. This is going to be at a angle here so it laces through. Put hot glue on the edge, both edges, and fold it inwards towards the center. Like so. Do you guys have any questions? I've had my glue gun for ages. My glue gun is over like maybe 10 years old, and it's dirty and it squeaks and everything, but it still works. And I have another one. I have a new one. It's all nice and has a printed cover and everything, but it just doesn't do it for me like this one does. So who can explain that? And it's squeaky and everything, and it's, oh, I love my hot glue gun. I think I'm gonna keep using it until it dies out on me. So again, you're gonna put a dab of hot glue in the center here. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes going down and 1, 2, 3, 4 holes going up. You're going to glue your fabric facing down. And everyone's always like, why do you have that dirty old hot glue gun, blah blah blah. But they don't understand. If my hot glue gun can speak all of the fabulous creations it has helped me make. Okay. You're gonna lace it. Yep, that's what it is. You get so used to the way it functions that why replace it if what you have works good already? That's what I have to say. And with the holidays coming, guys, these clutches make really cute gifts, you know, for girlfriends or for your daughters, especially if you have fashionistas in your family. You know, they like replacing one handbag with another and another, and this way they got a wide range of selections here, and they don't take up a lot of storage space either, so even better. Create one for every day of the week, for every outfit you have. And that's what it's looking like Add a little dab of hot glue here. Oh no, it's gonna be a very sad day when mine dies. Very sad day for me when that happens. So you're gonna open it up, put your hot glue gun in there and press it up against the edge as far as you can. And squeeze in a nice generous amount of glue. You're going to bring your remaining fabric or material inwards and glue it in. So this gives it a nice edge here that looks like it's a nice seam inside your clutch, and it keeps all your goodies in place. There you have it. No sew, no hassle, no fuzz, and you're ready to put your closure on. For mine, I've used these metal snap buttons here. But today I'm going to use something a little bit different just to give you guys options. I was thinking of maybe using one of Tim Holtz little knobs for this project. Let me see if I brought it. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the gold one. And these are so easy to incorporate into your project that just kind of have to eyeball the center of it here. So it's going to roughly be here at the center. Yeah, just kind of roughly mark, and I just need to prick a hole through here so that I can stick the little knob in there. This is the knob I'm using, and it's from Tim Holtz. Yeah, I have a feeling these little clutches will sell nicely. I've had a couple of people already ask me about them. I'm just not sure on how much to charge for them. So just kind of, if you have a pokey thing, poke a hole here. My crocodile, the holes on the crocodile are a little bit too big. Just want to poke a nice little hole to get the little knob through. Where is my craft knife? Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay, here's my craft knife, and I'm just very carefully poking a small hole here, big enough to fit the little Tim Holtz knob. There you go. I'll come back later and I'll add some E6000 to this just to make sure it's secure. And now I can punch a hole with my crocodile. I'm going to try it out first with the smaller hole on my crocodile, and then if that doesn't go through, then I'll try with the bigger hole. But you always want to try out the smaller hole puncher, because with wear and tear the vinyl is going to stretch out a little bit. Just kind of eyeballing it. Want to make sure it's where I want it before I punch anything. Okay. Yep, perfect. See that? So there you go. Now it's totally ready for you to embellish any which way style that you want. I would highly recommend, if you're going to put flowers on this, I would highly recommend that you use fabric flowers rather than paper flowers, because this is, after all, a wearable project. So your paper flowers might rip or distort or get smashed or something. So the best thing that I can recommend would be to go with fabric flowers rather than your regular arts and crafts paper flowers. So that's what I did with this one. Angela, do you recognize the flower? You should be able to recognize this really shabby flower that I used here. This is one of the flowers that Angela Holtz does, and all it is Yeah, these would make awesome gifts for Christmas. You can totally stuff them in with anything, and it can be any size, really. It doesn't have to be a clutch. Now that you guys have the basics of how to make it, now that you have the construction of how to build a clutch, it can be any size. It can be bigger, it can be half the size. You can probably add some cord to it to make it into like a little strap for your purse. It can be a pencil holder. It's just, possibilities are just ridiculously endless, and you can use yours for anything that you can possibly imagine. So this is a shabby chic flower that I got from Angela Holtz, and it's awesome. I really love the look of it. I just sprayed it with some of my Lindy sprays with Danny Succo's denim. I spray painted the fabric and altered the color because the color was originally white. It's originally a white flower, and it looks like this originally. When Angela first sent it to me, this is what it looked like, which is totally cute and adorable, but I don't think it would have matched the grunginess of my clutch, so I had to add some color sprays to it, and this is what I got. And of course, this is Angela's beautiful bling here, and I just added some metal to it just for added interest. To some of my other clutches, it didn't really need anything because Angie's fabulous bling kind of just added a whole wall to it without me having to add anything else to it. And all I added was flat back pearls randomly all over the handbag, in the back and in the front. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. I don't think for this one, I don't think I'm going to use a flower. I think I'm going to use more of a metal type of embellishments for this one. And I have my little trinket box here, which looks like this. And this is also something else that I'm going to finish with you guys. So I want to add a metal embellishment to my purse. You can also probably hang charms or beads or whatever. You can use this as a pouch for a mini book. You can put a mini book in there. You can put a card in there, matching dangles. Oh wow. I just came up with my next project. I have these middle corners. How would that look with the middle corners? Let me see what the middle corners are. Can you guys see the middle corners? Or I think I'm going to add this flower here somehow. This butterfly. I'm not sure if I want to add 2 flowers or just the metal corners. I'm just gonna add the middle corners to it with the bling added randomly. And the best glue to add your little trinkets and whatnots to your vinyl at this point is E6000. That's a really good strong adhesive that's gonna adhere your metal embellishments onto your fabric. What do you guys think? You guys think I should add something else to it? Not sure. Let me see if I have another butterfly. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I have a smaller one. Like that. I have some of Angela's fabulous bling here, but I'm just looking for the perfect storage box for me to purchase, and I'm throwing these in there. Oh wow, look at just a big difference on what a little bling does to a project. She has a very lovely collection of bling. I really love, I'm in love with her bling. the quality, the style and design of it is just spectacular. I think you all should run over and check her website out, Angela Holt Designs, because her bling is spectacular. I'll show you guys up close the different bling designs that she has. Look at that. How fabulous is this bling? I love her bling. I'm going to incorporate at least one bling piece to this, one way or another. I think this is what it's gonna look like. I think that's the finished product right there. And this butterfly, if I'm not mistaken, I got in one of Angela's kits, her shabby chic kit that she has, where she incorporated a lot of beautiful laces, and I think she put a feather in there, a bling piece, just phenomenal. Let's see. How to incorporate the bling okay, I think this is what it's gonna work out to be. Just have to cut the little loop here because this is a charm. So I have to snip off the little loop. I haven't been able to craft all weekend. I've had family come over and stuff, and it's been a very busy weekend, that today I just totally decided to set today aside for crafting. And what more fun than to craft with a bunch of crafty people. So I think this is basically what it's gonna look like this, with the butterfly here on the top, like so. I think the smaller one goes better. What do you think? Yeah, I think this is what it's gonna look. So this is gonna be my grungy steampunk type sort of clutch. And I have my E6000 glue here, which, by the way, since the casing of the E6000 glue is kind of like an aluminum type of material, I somehow punched a hole on it somewhere along the lines here, so I just added some glue to it, some tape, but it kind of it's kind of drying out. Just kind of wanted to salvage it as much as I can, because these E6000s are like maybe $5 or $6 a tube. Got clogged up a little bit. Yeah, Angie's bling totally rocks. I like it. It's very good quality bling. It's not the cheap plastic imitation type of bling. I even tried cutting one of them in half to use it on something, and I couldn't. That's how thick the material is. That should just give you guys an idea of just the kind of quality that Angie's bling is. There we go. Add some to your metal parts and glue them down. The only thing I don't like about this glue is that it's stinky and it takes a while to dry. I'm an impatient crafter, which can explain my love for my hot glue gun. I want to make sure that the butterflies are what I want to go with before I actually glue anything down. Oh yeah, this would be an awesome swap. Just ruffling through my stash here, just making sure I don't find something else that I might want to put on there before I glue my butterflies down. Nope, I don't think so. So I'm just gonna put some glue on them. I wish there was a more known company out there that would make decorative napkins. There's an idea, Angela. You can start up your own line of decorative napkins. Nobody else out there. Prima doesn't have it. Seven Gypsies doesn't have it. All those companies out there don't have it. And I think I always wondered, why don't these people have decorative napkins to match their decorative paper? They have tissue papers, but they don't have napkins. So I think this is all I'm going to do to my clutch for today. This is so far my finished final project, and you can see I added some of Angela's bling there. I might come back and add some more bling to the butterflies, but I really want them to be dry before I start messing with them. So I'm just gonna leave this aside, but for now this is what my clutch looks like. Fun, easy, no sew, no mess, no hassle clutch. So there you have it, guys. Might add some bling throughout the purse, but nothing too, you know, nothing too much, I don't think. So just leave this to dry. And let's see, do you guys have any questions? Thank you guys for sticking by. I know it's been about an hour, hour and a half or so. And let me hit